I was at work one day and 90 people out there moving literally tons of freight, and it's a really busy place. Well, there's one guy that started asking me questions about my faith as a Christian. And so I really felt compelled to begin to share the testimony of the gospel. He was telling me he was raised in church and everything. And there was this one guy that kept showing up. His name was Jimmy. And the other guy that I really said, okay, well, maybe this other guy named Keith was ready to hear the gospel. And Jimmy kept showing up, and Jimmy was not one of the people that was well liked. He was kind of, ill-mannered. He was rude. He was a thief, and for lack of a better words, I mean, he just was not a very. And so he kept interrupting anytime that I was talking to Keith. I mean, this was going on a period of a couple hours where we would work together for 15 minutes, and then we would go do our separate thing and then come back and work together. And I didn't want to witness to Jimmy. I wanted Jimmy to leave. I wanted to witness to Keith. But the really thing of it is really kind of a breakthrough moment for me in my faith, is to realize that my job was to share the gospel. Well, God was speaking to Jimmy, who I didn't want to talk to. And Keith was just basically very stoic and nice. The ending of the story ended at the lunch break room when Jimmy accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. I would have never, if you had asked me at the beginning of that day that Jimmy would have become a Christian that day, that would have been the furthest thing from my mind. But I know that I felt compelled to share my testimony, and I was sharing it to the wrong person, because it was the other person who kept interrupting me that ultimately wound up receiving Christ. But his heart was hungry, and I was the person that God chose to deliver the message of salvation to that day.